One of my favorite animals to view at the zoo is the red panda, and this Saturday you and your children can learn everything about this endangered animal at the ETSU and General Shale Natural History Museum at the Gray Fossil Site. Dr. Stephen Walllace knows all about the history of the red panda from his work at the Gray Site, and he joins us this morning. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
The red panda that you've unearthed out there, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, completely different than our modern day red panda, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually, not only is it quite a bit larger, but it's really different in shape. It has sort of different proportions to its body. So, I mean, it was clearly doing something a little different than the modern red panda.
And the modern red panda is, people need to view these and enjoy them, and we need to take care of them because they are endangered.
Yes, they are endangered. And in fact, it's kind of the typical story, you know, deforestation, poaching, you know, that they're basically being constricted significantly.
Well, talk to us about this very special day coming up, the Red Panda Day at the fossil site.
What's really nice is the Red Panda Network has started this sort of International Red Panda Day, and I think this is the 6th year that they've done it, and we've tried to sort of get on board because in reality it draws attention to the red panda by having this sort of global, you know, little get-together, and, you know, we at Gray, of course, want to share with that.
And you got a whole list of activities surrounding this day.
Lots of children activities. We want to remind everyone that it's free to get in.
Right.
So general admission is free. There is a trilobite exhibit that's separate. That you know, you can pay for that if you want to see it. But there's a lot of activities primarily geared towards family and towards children.
We had Trilobite Joe on talking about all that whole thing, and it's worth the price of admission.
Sure.
But let's stick with the red panda. And you say that how many red pandas have you found? The skeletons, fossils of red pandas on the site out there.
What's really neat is that early on we just found bits and pieces.
Right.
And we've got probably several individuals represented by bits and pieces. But lately we've actually found two really nice, fairly complete skeletons. One is about 98% complete, and the other one's about 75 or 80% complete. So we have a very good idea of what this thing looks like, and we still continue to find more. It's turning out to be one of our more common animals, surprisingly.
It just amazes me that way back then, those animals were here. I mean, there's no, no precursor for them. I mean, there's no ancestor here now that we can go back and say, look at that.
Sure.
But it's so amazing that we had animals like that roaming here.
Yeah, and they were once, at one time, really widespread throughout sort of the northern hemisphere. And it's not surprising that the Knoxville Zoo, you know, they have living red pandas, that they're actually one of the most successful breeders in the western hemisphere because I think red pandas like this environment.
Right.
So for whatever reason, they went extinct here, you know, in the past, but I mean, today Knoxville does very well at breeding them.
And every time I go to the Knoxville Zoo, I always see the plaque there that's speaking about the Gray Fossil Site. It's great to have someone like that to work with.
It really is nice having them so close. We try to do as much with them as we possibly can, and I always love to kind of, you know, get on my soapbox and brag about them because they really have a nice facility. You know, they really are kind of a little local jewel to have, and you know, they're only an hour and a half away, so it's real easy to get there. And if a person wants to see red pandas, you can get right in the enclosure. They're right in front of you, and they are the cutest little things.
But the ones out there, you're going to be speaking to children, whoever shows up for this, you're going to be talking to them. What points are you going to try to drive home for the red panda?
For my talk is at 1 o'clock, and what I really want to focus on is sort of conservation and the breeding program that's being sort of stimulated around the world, but I want to focus kind of on Knoxville just because, again, they're our friends. I don't mind bragging about them a little bit. They do have a neat program. And then I've got a graduate student who's going to be speaking about 2:30, and she's going to talk primarily about the more scientific aspects, the fossil aspects. So people can get a little bit of everything if they want it.
All right, Dr. Stephen Walllace, thank you for being with us today. It is Red Panda Day. It's coming up at the Gray Fossil Site tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The ETSU Natural History Museum. It is a great place to take your entire family, and tomorrow will be even more fun.